One of the first tasks in data analytics is to extract only part of data from the original data set. For example, it is common to operate on certain data, maybe that's coming from a country or that's coming from a typical sensor. So it is desired sometimes to only work with limited data for analysis. And in this case we can use row filter to eliminate others that we are not interested, or actually either extract or eliminate. We can work both ways. So I'll show you a few examples of that, and this is really the basic one. I know we have advanced filters as well, which we will talk later on, but let's start with the basic filtering. So in the first example I will give you, we will create a new column aggregated based on other attributes. So let's look at this configuration. So we picked all these. Let's say I want to eliminate card and I want to eliminate amount, and I created a new column based on only these attributes, and I call it aggregated values. I say OK and I run. Execute. Now since I just execute this, I will also filter on the aggregated column that I just created. Column to test is aggregated. I have other options as well, and I will do a pattern match on that. It's going to be case insensitive, so it's going to match anything. We can start Germany. It should not matter, and I will include those have Germany in it. So let's look at the data first. I have an aggregated values column. All countries are in there, and next I'm going to take out Germany within this column through row filter. Execute, and I look at the aggregated values column. Only Germany is in there, and it is case insensitive. Also, this is the same one that's already formed by the country in the country column. Okay, so that is a basic matching from a collection column. I can also do only sales. I can also use country as well, country, and hit Germany again and include as well. So that's not any different result. We can do wildcard. I can pick Germany and I can select contains wildcard, and I start with star A, and it will do a pattern match and it will include. So if anything ends with A or capital A, it will be there. So let's look what we get. We have China, USA. It is upper and lowercase a's. It should always be matching as it is case insensitive. We can also start with U star, meaning United States, for instance, and maybe others if there is. Let's look what we get. We have USA, but also unknown. It is not. It's also a match. Lowercase u is a match, and if I was only interested in United States, then I might also do U star, but this time it is case sensitive match and it's a capital U. Okay, and that should eliminate unknown from that list. I can also do row ID filtering. It is include row IDs, include rows by row ID, and again case sensitive match. Row ID must only start with the expression is unchecked. Pay attention, so it will only bring me row 1. Row 1 is included, but nothing else. If you actually check that attribute, row ID must only start with expression row 1. In this case it will take row 1, row 10, row 11 and so on. Here you see the implications. Next, if I am interested in taking the first 10 rows, I can do a range by row number, include rows by number from 1 to 10. It is including the first and the 10th column. You can also do to the end of the table and start from a certain column, which I will show you here. Let's say I am not interested in the first 10. I can say from first row, which is 10, and I can actually pick to the end of the table. So the first 10 is excluded and the rest is going to be included, and I said OK, and it will take the last n minus 10 rows. Wait a minute, we got the okay, from, hold on just a second, only last n minus 10 rows. Oh, okay, sorry, wait a minute. What I did is I took the first row, number 10, and I am taking to the end of the table, so I am on eliminating from 10 to the end. But if I include and run, I should not see the first 10. Start row 9, and it's going on because it is 0 indexed, that's why it is included. It goes to the end. So the first n minus 10 rows is eliminated. Let's save this one. I can only have, let's start with this one first, only sales with the missing value in the cart. If you remember, in the cart, let me show you this first. We have cart and some are missing with question mark, and some have a value yes or no. So in this case I will have missing value match checked, and I do a quantity test on column cart, so I am including those. So I will have a list of missing values in that list. If you look at the data, that's what you will have, the ones that have no value in the cart. And if I am interested in or eliminating the ones that are missing, I can exclude them by just checking that. In this case I will have everything but that. Okay, so far so good. So now if we are doing range checking, again a basic filtering using integer. So I picked quantity and I have lower bound as 2 and no upper bound, and I will include anything 2 and above is going to be in the quantity included in that data set. If I need only 2, then it is simple, you put a lower bound and an upper bound 2 and 2. So it will only bring a single value, which you can easily see. In this list we have only quantity 2. And if you want to do again an upper and a lower bound, give different values, including 2, including 5. I can have a range check. And I have quantity between 2 and 5. including both those two values as well. And I can also do the very same thing, still pick 2 and 5, but this time I can exclude. Maybe I'm interested in finding the outliers and only working with what is remaining. In that case I may choose the range, but if I'm interested in maybe looking at outliers, maybe that's the way to do it. Okay, so we have others. So this is enough for the basic row filtering. There's also advanced row filtering, which we can talk in the next lectures.